is CTV News.
Evening, and thank you for joining us. Windsor, Essex, and Chatham, Kent under a deep freeze. Environment Canada issuing a cold warning and special weather statement for heavy snowfall beginning Sunday morning. But first, several media outlets in Detroit are reporting this hour a person is in custody after they crashed their vehicle into the Delta Airlines baggage check-in area inside the Detroit Metro Airport. There is no official cause of the crash. We will have more details on this when they become available. Returning now to the weather, the Arctic blast has dramatically transformed Lake Erie in a matter of days. Ice coverage has skyrocketed from 1% up to over 80%. Here's CTV's Chris Campbell.
Bitter cold and strong winds are reshaping Lake Erie fast.
Lakes don't offer any protection from the wind, and we're seeing strong winds. So the wind chill near the lake is going to be really uncomfortable, to say the least.
Environment Canada says wind chill values near -32 to -33, combined with gusts up to 50 kilometers an hour, have accelerated ice formation on the shallowest of the Great Lakes.
We've got bitter Arctic air across Ontario, and I would suspect the lakes are warmer than that, but they're not going to give any relief at all to anyone looking to warm up.
The result? A dramatic jump in ice coverage in just days, going from 1% to nearly 85% coverage in 1 week's time.
Just days ago, much of Lake Erie here was open water. Now with this Arctic blast settling in, the lake behind me is almost entirely frozen over. A dramatic shift that's happening faster than many people can remember.
Well, I would say it's pretty extreme.
Lake Erie right now is looking to be about 7 inches lower than it was last January.
Scientists at the Great Lakes Institute for Environmental Research say Lake Erie's shallow depth makes it especially vulnerable to rapid swings. Earlier this week, freighter ship American Spirit had to put out a call for help due to the evolving waters as it traveled to Toledo.
But yeah, it's an interesting time in the Great Lakes.
The sudden freeze is also catching the attention of those who live and work along the lake.
It's something that we don't see on a regular basis. You know, these years where we get this much ice this quick is few and far between.
In Colchester, tackle shop owner Fred Bondy says customers are eager to get ice fishing, but he cautions Lake Erie ice can be unpredictable.
We have a lot of shelf ice right now, and the only way you're getting out on that ice to do any fishing is if you got an airboat, you know, a fan boat, that style of boat. Walking out would be too dangerous at this point.
It is certainly very cold, and I would definitely put it in the unusual category.
In Colchester, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Now, during these extreme temperatures, experts say it's important to be aware of the risk of frostbite. Here's CTV's Pauline Chan.
When the wind chill dips below -30, the risk of frostbite goes up.
And I got contacted probably within the last 2 days about 6 times about frostbites already. And some of them were significant.
Dr. Mark Yeshke's big worry is the unhoused who are exposed for a prolonged time.
At the beginning, you feel numb, you have some pain, but then, as you know, as the tissue damage progresses, your pain goes usually away. Then people are like, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay, but then they don't realize that it just gets worse and worse.
Hamilton Health Sciences has a video on how to avoid frostbite. Layer up, especially your head and neck, and protect your feet and hands. And while some suggest warm water, Dr. Yeshke prefers other methods to warm up the hands and feet.
Go somewhere warm, layer up, massage gently, rub the gently, bring the blood flow back, move your hands, move your body, get the circulation going.
A new drug approved in Canada in 2024 is also available for severe cases.
It dilates the blood vessels and makes sure there is more blood flow to the area that is affected by the frostbite.
But there is a downside. It has to be used within 72 hours, and it can cause a dangerously fast heartbeat, so its use must be monitored.
Discolorization, right? And your fingers remain white or get blue and all of a sudden have some blisters, have some changes on your toes, you should see medical attention.
As for how long you can stay outside, Dr. Yeshke says go inside as soon as you start to feel numb or uncomfortable and use your common sense. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
And as the cold sets in, some local roads may not be getting the same amount of salt as supplies continues to tighten. Lakeshore says a region-wide salt shortage is forcing changes to its winter operations, with salt now being reserved for priority roads and known ice hotspots. Essex County says its supply is also dropping now below 25%, though officials stress there's been no impact to service levels so far. Limited daily deliveries are continuing and backup sand-salt mixes are ready if needed. In the meantime, drivers are being urged to slow down and drive to conditions. And if you're hunkering down to escape this deep freeze, you're definitely not in the mood maybe to cook, and local pizza shops are feeling it.
All hands on deck for sure. Yeah, big day today, Friday, and you got all both ovens working.
Many families are opting to stay put and let dinner come to them. Local pizza shops say extreme cold means a noticeable spike in orders, with more staff called in and longer delivery times as roads and weather slow things down.
I would assume 10 to 15% busier than a normal day, you know what I mean? Especially now it's on a Friday too, that, you know, a real cold day and a real busy day. So people get home and it's just too cold, right? And they forget what they were going to cook. And a lot of people just bunker down and, you know, comfort food is pizza, right?
Residents at a Chatham social housing complex are once again dealing with the aftermath of a fire, the second at the same building in less than 2 years. Here's CTV's Sanjay Maru.
For the second time in less than 2 years, residents inside this social housing complex in Chatham were told they had to leave immediately after a fire broke out.
We're just seeing remnants of last year's finalized and finished up in our building, and then my thoughts were we're going to do this all over again. It was just an utter nightmare.
Following reports of smoke in the hallways Thursday afternoon, emergency crews arrived to find a fire inside a second-floor apartment unit. Unlike the fire in 2024, which displaced nearly everyone living in this complex, this blaze was contained to a single unit, and only tenants living in the same block were told they had to find somewhere else to stay for the night.
We had things moving in the right direction to assist with getting buses to the scene and just being able to, you know, get the residents on them and keep them warm.
As was the case in the 2024 fire, a church across the street opened its doors Thursday to affected residents who needed last-minute shelter, turning its gym into a warming space with food, drinks, and a place to sit.
We all go through crises in life and those types of experiences, and we need those support networks. And we're so grateful at Emmanuel that people trust us to be able to come in, and they know that we're there for them.
Hey, Sadie. Welcome out.
Following the fire in August 2024, resident Robert Francis says his unit suffered heavy water damage and he was not able to move back home until March of last year. Officials say tonight about 15 residents have been told they cannot yet return here due to Thursday's blaze, pending an investigation by the Ontario Fire Marshal. But Chatham-Kent Fire expects the wait to be nowhere near the months-long displacement many experienced in 2024.
I expect they'll be back in their apartments in very short order.
As for Francis, he says people living here at 99 McNaughton Avenue West, all of whom are low income, are still in the process of rebuilding their lives from the first fire here. And he credits fellow tenants for helping prevent even more damage this time around.
I give the kudos to my fellow tenants, whoever they are, for their wit and their fast action of calling 911. We could have lost another good part of our building again.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Meantime, a big sigh of relief for some residents in the Riverside area. The province is investing close to $20 million to help protect neighborhoods from flooding. As CTV's Bob Belichico shows us, the money will help a street lose its nickname.
We'll call it Lake Eleanor. Residents on Eleanor Street have dealt with flooding issues for years. When I walk my dog, as soon as I get to the end of my driveway, it's holding out for hope that you're not slipping and falling on the ice in the winter or wearing rubber waders just to get through the road. Omar Abu Hussein is relieved to hear about the $19.9 million investment by the provincial government to help modernize stormwater infrastructure. Now, that money will help create an easier path for water to travel from the 7 roads in this area near Stop 26 to the Pontiac pumping station on Little River Road. I'm so excited. I know my neighbors, everybody's been on this for a long time, so it's really nice to see.
So essentially we'll be going in, we'll be tremendously upsizing those critical core trunk sewers And it's interesting that we're standing here today at the Pontiac pumping station, because all of that increased flow is going to come down to the station and then be managed at that point.
The 7 roadways affected are part of the East Marsh Drainage Redirection Project and are found in the area seen here from above. Some of these streets include Florence Avenue, Menard Street, Clover Street, Clairview Avenue, John M. Street, and Eleanor.
Our sump pump constantly runs because there's nowhere for the water to go. My neighbors, myself, like we talk about it all the time. It's been an issue. The water gets pretty deep. There's no walking outdoors during the rain.
Road improvements will also be made as part of the project.
This area floods all the time. And it has to do with the old sewer systems that they're currently underneath this area, which is known as the Dog Patch of Riverside.
The provincial investment helps unlock $7.6 million through the City of Windsor.
Now that we've got a confirmation that the money is coming, we can get the tender documents out and start lining up the production, the construction schedule that will allow the project to move forward.
A year and a half design and construction approximately.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Meantime, Drew Dilkens has used his strong mayor powers to request even more information about the stormwater financing plan. Now in 2024, Windsor changed how property owners are charged for stormwater treatment. If you have a lot of grass to absorb rain, you pay less. Owners with large concrete parking lots, for example, pay more. The mayor says the system needs another tweak to take into account people who live on the water.
It's got to be fair for everyone. And so the principles I want reviewed are looking at making sure it's fair for residential consumers, but also fair for the industrial port users and commercial consumers as well. We don't want to do anything that disincentivizes business from opening up here. And I've heard enough points of friction throughout the last year that I think it requires a review that allows us to continue to collect money to make the responsible investments that we're making, but also allows us to deal with some of the challenges that we've seen with the program rollout.
Caldwell First Nation is moving ahead with the next phase of on-reserve housing, adding more homes and more space for families to grow. Construction begins Monday on Phase 2 of Caldwell First Nations housing development, with 16 new homes going up on the reserve. The mix of 2 to 5 bedroom homes will bring the total to 44, designed to meet the needs of both smaller and larger families. Leaders say this is about more than building. It's about rebuilding community, stability, and a future, with move-in expected this fall. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald has your full weather details coming up in 2 minutes' time. And still ahead, Ontario's most famous weather predicting groundhog hits the stage in Wiarton. Gary Archibald joining me now. Gary, those images coming out of Lake Erie are beautiful.
Beautiful images indeed, all because of the frigid air, and with the air temperatures well below seasonal combined with very gusty wind, we've been looking at wind chill values across Canada between -30 and -50 projected. -50s in parts of the northern prairies, northern Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, even parts of northwestern Ontario, which would essentially encapsulate the northern parts, the Canadian Shield moving towards James Bay. Could see parts of Quebec in the -45 range, and eastern Canada, -30s in parts of New Brunswick, PEI, and for southern Ontario, -30 to -35 between now and dawn Saturday morning. Reached a high of about -8. Our average is -1. You get the idea. The low so far today, -20. That's core temperature, not the wind chill. And we've experienced wind chill close to -29, -30 around the noon hour. We have lake effect snow right now encompassing a good section of the eastern and northeastern shores of Lake Huron. But the system we're concerned about rolls in right here. Early, say around 3 or 4 a.m. Saturday, when we are at its coldest point, we'll likely see 1 to 2 centimeters starting to ramp up. The worst case scenario is you're driving early tomorrow morning, perhaps for work, an early morning shift perhaps, and you're facing wind chill values on top of -22 degrees Celsius. That's the ambient temperature we're expecting before dawn, feeling like -30. The winds actually aren't that strong tomorrow. It could be a lot worse. These are projected temperatures, not wind chill values you see here. -14 for the high, followed by -9 for the high. Saturday into Sunday with the snow, 5 to 10 centimeters projected. Some areas a little bit less, some areas I'd say close to that 10 centimeter mark. Saturday, sunny, bitterly cold. Sunday, clouding over, snow on the way, and still well below seasonal for daytime highs. Our average high for this time of the year between Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent, about -1 to -2. The low closer to -8, -9, and the lows will also be rather chilly and below seasonal. The next time we talk about seasonal values, closer to -1, -2, -9, respectively, for highs and lows, maybe 8 to 10 days away. Let's look at your weather.
Former Canadian Olympic snowboarder turned international fugitive is in the custody of the FBI tonight. The 44-year-old was on the agency's top 10 most wanted list for allegedly running a violent transnational drug trafficking network. Here's CTV's Camille Karamali.
This is a moment more than a decade in the making. Former Canadian Olympian Ryan Wedding in handcuffs, surrounded by police, brought to U.S. soil to face a litany of charges. The 44-year-old from Thunder Bay, Ontario, arrested last night in Mexico City, a Mexican official saying today a Canadian voluntarily surrendered at the U.S. Embassy.
This is what a united front looks like.
It marks the end of a manhunt spanning an entire continent and coordination between police in 3 countries.
Here we are today, bringing him to justice for trafficking hundreds of kilos of cocaine and also for the murder of innocent civilians.
Wedding was first wanted by the RCMP in 2015. After fleeing Canada, he allegedly began building a multi-billion-dollar drug smuggling empire, trafficking tons of cocaine to the U.S. and Canada each year. Last year, finding himself on the FBI's 10 most wanted list after being accused of orchestrating the murder of a federal witness who was set to testify against him. He allegedly ordered a hit on a home in Caledon, Ontario that mistakenly resulted in the killing of an innocent family. The Bureau offering a $15 million reward for his capture, the heat ramping up in November when RCMP arrested several of his associates in Canada and Mexican authorities seized millions of dollars of his assets.
You're going to find a lot more other individuals who are going to come forward and say, listen, I'd rather give you the information. I'll tell you, I'll testify. Just don't put me in jail.
We will not comment on anyone regarding the rewards.
Few details released by officials today, with many left waiting for answers, including those who knew him.
In some ways, I can understand, the path that he took just because of the lack of funding in Canadian sport in general.
Wedding will be held in custody over the weekend, facing a list of charges related to murder and drug trafficking, with his first court appearance slated for Monday morning. Kamal Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
It's an image that has left people shaken. A 5-year-old boy being taken into custody this week by ICE agents in Minneapolis as they rounded up his father. CTV Washington Bureau Chief Joy Melvin on the incident, further igniting tensions.
His name is Liam Ramos. He's 5 years old. Wearing a blue bunny hat, he attends a preschool in Minnesota. His teachers say he was rounded up by ICE agents. According to lawyers, he's now in detention with his father in Texas. Liam is just one of 4 children detained by ICE agents in the last 2 weeks from the same school district.
He's a bright young student. All I want is for him to be safe and back here.
The raids are part of President Donald Trump's hardline crackdown on immigration. He promised to go after the worst of the worst and deport them.
They're murderers, they're drug lords.
Liam is not a violent offender. The family lawyer says he was used as bait to lure other people from their home. The family is applying for asylum, but instead of leaving Liam with relatives, ICE agents put him in detention.
ICE detained a 5-year-old. Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death?
The vice president in Minneapolis trying to lower the temperature after 2 weeks of unrest. The ICE raids have ripped Minneapolis apart with more agents than police on the streets tensions are high after the fatal shooting of Renee Good by an ICE officer. Minnesota's governor and mayor don't want them there, now under criminal investigation for possible obstruction. For the teachers at Columbia Heights, now missing a little boy, this is inexcusable.
ICE agents have been roaming our neighborhoods, circling our schools, following our buses, coming into our parking lots and taking our children, and our hearts are shattered.
Joy Malvin, CTV News, Washington.
Canada's main stock index rose to a new high, helped by gains in the basic materials sector. In Toronto, the TSX gained 142 points. In New York, the Dow fell 285, the Nasdaq added 65. The Canadian dollar up 1/3 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold gained more than $66 an ounce. Oil jumped ahead $171 a barrel. Ontario health officials say flu cases across the province are quickly dropping. According to Public Health Ontario, 7.3% of flu tests came back positive last week, about half the rate from the previous week, which was about half the number from that week the week before. Cases peaked around the holidays, leading to a surge in care at hospitals. Health officials say this doesn't mark the end of flu season, though, with spikes in cases still possible in the weeks ahead. Canada has for decades been known as a hockey-crazed nation, a rite of passage for young kids growing up playing the sport. The new numbers confirm many more Canadian children are now scoring goals on the field, not on the ice. CTV's Andrew Johnson is looking into the ascent of soccer.
Go, 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Under the lights in Vancouver.
Remember, guys, we have to accelerate with the ball.
Canadian winter for these kids is spent on the field, not at the rink.
When I go outside, it just makes me feel happy.
It's really fun.
They're part of a Canadian generation now overwhelmingly choosing soccer over hockey.
This has been his sport since he was like 2 years old. Messi and Ronaldo. And so those were the two guys that he looked up to, and it's just something that came naturally to him.
According to a new report by Canadian Tire Jumpstart Charities, half of young Canadians play soccer, making it the most widely played youth sport in the country, more than twice the number who play hockey.
I think it's so accessible. Kids can play at school, at recess, at lunch. All you need is a ball and a wall.
It's multicultural. You don't need to speak to get a, friendship. You just have to play soccer.
The popularity of soccer also comes down to cost. The report says families spent 4 times more to put a child in hockey.
This keeps them off of video games, which I feel is way more expensive.
Like hockey, the report confirms soccer is attracting more boys than girls. A stat Sloan Rodriguez is experiencing firsthand. What's it like being the only girl on a boys' team?
It feels a bit awkward.
What hasn't changed is the positive power of sport. 96% of families say they believe it improves their children's physical health. 93% point to mental health benefits. Now that's a win. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Gary joins us one last time on these frigid temperatures.
Wind chill values through the overnight close to -30 to -35. I'd say between 2 and 5 a.m. Saturday morning. It will be clear to start and clear throughout the midday and afternoon. For the most part, a sunny day, but the air temperature is frigid. Frostbite could occur in just minutes, so do take care. -14's the high expected. The low coming early, -22, feeling like -30, of course, is potentially a risk to health, no doubt. Sunday, looking at some snow, 5-10 centimeters, a bit warmer at -9. We'll take it. -8 followed by -9, -7, -7, -11. You get the idea. It's still cold, still quite cold, but not as cold. When we get to more seasonal values? That's the key question. We're going to have to wait about a week and a half. Until then, stay warm and dress for the occasion. Good night.
If you are fed up with the winter, there may be a glimmer of hope in a little over a week as Ontario's most famous weather predicting groundhog hits the stage in Wiarton. Scott Miller reports.
Willie did not see his shadow. We will have an early spring.
In 10 days, an albino groundhog will be brought out onto a stage in Wiarton to conduct his annual winter weather forecast.
We are so excited. This is the 70th prediction for Wiarton Willie.
For 7 decades, Wiarton Willie has been delighting audiences with his weather prognostications. 36 times he's not seen his shadow and predicted an early spring. 25 times he's seen his shadow predicting 6 more weeks of winter. And 9 times there's no record of what his prediction was. No matter what he says, Willie's February 2nd prediction draws thousands of people from around the world to Wiarton each and every Groundhog Day.
It's an annual tradition, and it's a homecoming for many people that have grown up in the area, and they return home with their families and they share in the celebration. So we really are excited and looking to welcome everybody back to Wiarton for Wiarton Willie Festival.
While Willie's prediction is the highlight of the Wiarton Willie Festival, dances, games, kids events, and chili cook-offs start on Friday, January 30th and run right through until the big moment at 8:07 a.m. on Monday, February 2nd.
If you haven't seen the fireworks on a crisp February morning overlooking Coolpoise Bay, it's something that everybody has to experience at least once. And we see, thousands of visitors coming to the area in the middle of, in February.
What Willie sees and says on February 2nd is still to be determined, but with constant road closures and 15 snow days for students in Grey Bruce so far this winter, the consensus in the Groundhog Day crowd will undoubtedly be for Willie to predict an end to winter as soon as possible.
We're looking forward to lots of community spirit in, the north winter. So it really is winter up here on the Bruce Peninsula.
I'll be covering Wiarton Willie's prediction on Groundhog Day, and we'll have all the details on the CTV London website that morning. In Wiarton, Scott Miller, CTV News.
We will be watching closely. Okay, that is your news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your weekend.